Hey, I'm Terri Britt. We are about to get started with our Women Leaders of Love Own Your Worth Wednesdays, and we have a great conversation today. We're going to let people start streaming in, jumping in on our Zoom call. For those of you who are joining us on my Facebook private page, our Women Leaders of Love page, our LinkedIn, and where else are we? I think that's it for right now. Maybe Twitter. And soon we'll be doing Instagram, and hopefully YouTube will be live streaming all at the same time. So it's very, very exciting. We're expanding in our technology. Yay. So while people are coming in on the Zoom call, I want to invite you to shut the door, take a moment to just give yourself permission to turn everything off. This is your time, as we always invite you to do, to create a sacred space for yourself, because that's what we're doing as women leaders of love. We are taking a stand for loving ourselves and nurturing ourselves and supporting ourselves so we can be that in the world. We can be that example. We can be that expression of this kind of love and abundance. I also want to invite you, if you have ever watched this, you'll see that we have lots of questions come in on our Zoom call. You'll see people start popping up on the screen. And if you would ever like to be a part of this, because you're going to see that we do some coaching, we're going to do a meditation in a few minutes. We're going to do some coaching, some laser coaching. People can ask questions. If you ever want to join us this way, all you have to do is go to terribritt.com/leaders, and you'll get my free Worthiness Quotient Breakthrough Bundle. And then you're going to learn in that my Women Leaders of Love ebook, what we're all about, why it's so important that you really love yourself. And then you'll get also 3 guided meditations. Plus, because you got that, each week you'll get the Zoom link in your inbox so that you can join us on this call. So while we're letting people trickle in, I want to invite you to just take a moment. We're going to get grounded for a moment so that we can be in this sacred space. And if you are not familiar with that terminology of getting grounded, what we're actually doing is really we're getting in our bodies, okay? Because more often than not, it's as if we're out of our bodies. Have you ever felt like, oh man, how did I get here? What just happened? I don't even remember maybe driving here, or I don't remember doing that thing that I said I was going to do and it's done, but I don't actually remember doing it. It's kind of like we go out of our bodies in a way. And so we want to be in our bodies. We want to be fully here and present, because that's where the joy is, okay? We want to be present right here. We don't want to be projecting too much in the future, and we don't want to be going too much in the past. We want to stay here. This is where the joy is. Now, one of the things that we do, but I just want to share this a little bit too, is that we do go into the past somewhat in our meditations. And the reason is that when we're trying to really create a life we love, we get blocked. Because when we're trying to create something, it holds a vibration, say here. And if you have blocks, it's going to keep your vibration here. To be able to create what you want, your vibration, the energy that you emit, has to match what you want to create. So we go in and clean out the blocks that are hidden in your subconscious mind. And as we clean those out and you give yourself permission to stand in your truth, you become more joyful, you become more aligned with what you want to create. And because you're at a high worthiness quotient, you begin to attract things that match this energy. So everything is energy. This is what we're doing in these calls. So if you're wondering, so what does own your worth mean? What it means is we are saying yes to loving ourselves. We're saying yes to going into our subconscious minds and cleaning out the beliefs that cause our pain and suffering. These beliefs that are in our subconscious mind, which runs about 95% of our lives, they emit a feeling, and that feeling emits a vibration. We know this now scientifically. This is not woo-woo, because I've had people say this is woo-woo. It's not woo-woo. So whatever feeling you're emitting because of those thoughts, you're going to send out a vibration, and then you're going to attract to you the same vibration. So if things aren't working in your life, it's because you have hidden beliefs that are sabotaging your happiness. And we want to get rid of that, right? Because we want you to live abundantly. We want you to be an example for others to watch you and learn. I mean, this is our greatest act of service. When we love ourselves and own our worth, it is our greatest act of service, because people get to watch us and learn. So with all of that said, just for anybody who's a newbie here with us, I wanted to explain a little bit about who we are and what we're doing here in this Own Your Worth Wednesdays for our Women Leaders of Love community. So let's just take a moment and get grounded. Let's invite the light of love, the light of energy, the light of God, the light of abundance. Just allow it to flow into the crown of your head, imagining that the crown of your head is open. Breathing into this. And if you have fear coming up around this, like, oh, I don't know about inviting something in, you can just say, I am only willing to accept loving energy, unconditionally loving energy to come into my space. You have that kind of power. So invite that in right now as you let it come into the crown of your head, giving yourself permission to receive, giving yourself permission to breathe, allowing that light to go down through your face and your neck. Really releasing everything. We're releasing the week, we're releasing the day, maybe the year. And now allow that light to go down your arms and out your hands, imagining that the energy is pouring out of your palms and your fingertips, thinking of yourself as having hands of light. As that energy continues to run through your upper body and your shoulders and your arms and your hands, bring that energy now into your chest as we get grounded. We're just taking a moment to get grounded. Breathing in, allowing that energy to come down into your tummy now. All the way into your hips. Allowing that energy now to go down your legs, into your feet. And imagine the balls of your feet opening up and even the tips of your toes opening up. So now you have feet of light. Getting grounded in the light, feeling the loving energy flood into your body, allowing yourself to relax, allowing every muscle to release. Feeling the safety in this energy. And then imagining that you're so full of light that it's flooding out from the top of your hands and out of your out of your head and out of your hands and feet, and flooding all the way around you, so that you feel so full. And just imagine that under your feet there is this column of light, and that everything that is not yours, everything that you're ready to release right now, is being dumped down that grounding cord. We're sending it back to the center of the earth with love. Breathing into this. Letting anything go that's got you bogged down. Feels really good, doesn't it? So when you're ready, I want to invite you to come back into this space so that you can be fully present here. And let's talk about our topic today. So everybody's back. I can feel that. Okay, cool. Well, I want to talk about today those mind habits that sabotage your happiness. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I want to share a little story about what happened with me yesterday. I am on some deadlines right now. I have a lot of stuff going on. And on top of it, I decided to go see my grandbaby this weekend. So all of a sudden, the deadlines that I thought I had a little bit more time with, I said, oh no, I'm going to get them done now. And it wasn't just deadlines for work. It was getting things cooked. Like I cook liver for my dogs because they're on a grain-free diet, and the doctor suggested put liver, cook liver for them. Well, my husband's bogged down, and I usually try to do this. So I said, I'm going to do it. Well, then I also have a book club tonight, and I was baking the brownies. Sounds like I'm a cook. I'm not a cook, but I was trying to get all this stuff done. And as I was sitting or standing at the kitchen sink, just, plowing through things, I found myself doing this old mind crap. And what I was doing was having this negative talk with myself about, oh, am I going to get this done? Am I going to get that done? And as I said, I had some deadlines for work. I had an interview, a written interview that somebody had sent all these questions that I had a deadline on that. I mean, it's like boom, 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 boom. And so as I'm doing this, you can see how my mind is just starting to whack me out. I mean, I could feel the energy draining from me. Have you ever had that happen where you're sitting there and you're just going about, I got to do this, I got to do that. I'm never going to get it all done. I know we've all felt that way, right? So I'm doing that to myself, and I'm like, wait, stop, hello. And as I stood there, I said, how do I really feel? Let me check in instead of creating this scenario where I think I feel exhausted and where I think I am just worn out. What if I check in with my body right now? What if I just check in? And I checked in and I was like, I actually feel okay. I feel pretty good right now. I've had a really productive day and I'm okay. And as I realized that, I was like, wow, I was making myself exhausted through my thoughts. Have you ever done that? Have you ever recognized that you were doing that? Well, immediately I said, mind hack. I'm not doing that anymore. And I checked in with myself. I asked myself, I said, what do I need right now? And you guys that are here, I love energy and I love working with energy. So I got this nudge to run red energy through me, which is the energy of vitality. It's a first chakra, which is at the base of our spine, which is when we get tired and worn out, we can really start feeling depleted there. So I ran red energy through me. Well, I must have done a really good job because I went to bed at 3:30 this morning and got up at 6:30. Now that is not my norm. Okay. That is not my norm. I usually am a 7-8 hour night sleeping, maybe 6 hours of sleep every night. Okay. But I did something okay because that vitality, that red energy that I was running, and this mindset just shifted everything. I mean, it absolutely shifted everything. And as I started thinking about it, I was like, dang, this is what we do to ourselves. This is what we do. We go into old habits because in the past, if I had done that and I had so many things to do, I would have probably been exhausted because I'd have done that to myself, and I wouldn't have shifted it. I wouldn't have recognized that I have the power to shift this in any moment. It's just this is an old habit. This is an old way of being. And by recognizing that, I felt so, so empowered. I mean, it was like, wow. And it was interesting because I had such a productive night last night. I was in here working in my office, as I said, I think I was in my office until 3 a.m. and then took a bath so I could relax. And finally, I think fellas got to sleep about 3:30. Maybe it might have been later than that because I was still kind of wired from all the energy. But as I was creating, I was even running more energy. And this is what happens. A lot of times we feel that, oh, I've got so much to do and I'm going to be so exhausted. But if we're in a creative place, when we're really, putting energy out, then we bring that much more life force energy to us. That's the beauty of creativity, right? You bring that much more life force energy to you. So it was just an awakening for me to pay attention to this old way of being versus how do I choose to be in this moment. And I recognized it as it was just that. It was mind crap. It was a habit. It was not something that I had to do anymore. It was not something that was going to benefit me in any way. And in fact, it was affecting my health and it was affecting my mentality, right? It was really affecting me. So I want you to think about that in your life. Do you have moments, and are you aware of any moments where you have felt that, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Terri. I am depleting myself. Maybe right now in your life, you're thinking, I've got to get this done. I've got to get that done. I've got so much to do in my life. And you are depleting yourself. I mean, think about how we do that at the beginning of the day, right? We get up in the morning, and I watch my husband do this all the time. And we get up in the morning, and all of a sudden it's like, I got this to do, I got that to do, and you're racing. And next thing you know, you are depleted before your day even gets going. That's mind crap. That's a habit. So how many of you can actually say, oh yeah, I do that. I do that. I do that all the time. So I want you to think about, what is it in your life that you do this with yourself? Is it what I'm talking about? Is it where you go into that kind of habit? Maybe it's about, you have this old habit of thinking, well, going to the gym is going to be drudgery. Okay, that used to be one for me. Going to the gym was going to be drudgery. Then I started going to a gym that I love, and now I wake up in the mornings and am at the gym by 7:15. And when I wake up and I say, what day is it? It's like, oh, it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. And the smile comes over my face. Because it's like, oh yeah, I get to go to the gym this morning. I'm getting strong. I'm getting healthy. So it's a mind hack that I had to do to shift out of that old mindset of going to the gym as drudgery. Maybe the mind hack you need to do is to look at going to work. Maybe in your mind, you've got this mentality that you took on since you were a child. Maybe you watched your parents who went to work every single day and you saw them dreading work. Did you possibly take that energy on from them, that work is dreadful, that work is hard? And if you really checked into yourself, maybe you find, oh, you know what? I actually enjoy being there. I enjoy my coworkers. I enjoy some of the stuff that I'm doing. I enjoy that I get to come home and leave my work at work. You see, we can do these old programs and these old habits that maybe we watched from someone else, or we just, made that decision for ourselves when we were younger. But those mindsets that are bad habits for us, they affect everything. I mean, this is why, they say that 95% of the illness is based in your beliefs, because it's based in stress. Stress causes illness. And if you have beliefs that life is hard, that work is hard, that you've got some kind of a mindset that is really, really, really shutting you down and making you feel stressed, then it's going to make you feel sick. It's going to make you feel sick. So this poor person, Sydney, I don't know if you can hear me. She has tried to get on over and over and over and over and over again. It just keeps clicking out. So she must be having a hard time getting on with us. So Sydney, I'm going to send you some loving energy and hopefully you can get on, because she's literally clicked on about 10 times trying to get in here. So I hope she's able to get in. So I want to take us into a meditation. Hopefully I've given you some examples here that you recognize, okay, I'm getting I see where I do this. I see where I play these mental habits with myself, and they are just that, habits, right? They are habits, but they're sabotaging your health and your happiness. So we're going to go into a meditation. We're going to look at what that is for you, and we're going to just clear it so you can go into awareness. And then we're even going to ask, okay, so what is it that I can do in that moment when I recognize that I'm in this old habit? What can I do? Like for me, I was standing at my sink and was like, I need to run some red energy. I need to run some vitality through my body. And I did a really good job of it. I was up all night. So we're going to do this meditation and see what comes up for you. Then we'll open up for questions afterwards. So if you're ready, I always love the meditations. It's so much fun. So I want to invite you now, if you're ready, to close your eyes and take a breath. And release. Take another deep breath. And release. As you sit in this space and you're allowing the light of love, the light of God to continue to run through the crown of your head and into your body, you're getting more and more relaxed, more and more connected, more and more receptive. I want to invite you right now to bring the little 5-year-old, that inner child inside of you, bring that little kid up on your lap. Maybe you might be able to see this kid. You might be able to feel her, have a knowingness that she's there. Just invite her in. She's the voice of your wounds. She's even the voice of your joy. Breathing into this. Now, you just heard a bunch of examples of how we have these habits that affect our health and our happiness. And hopefully something surfaced for you, started bubbling up. And you recognized in yourself how you sabotage yourself with thoughts, simple thoughts. And just recognize how that affects you. Does your energy start draining? Do you find yourself feeling depleted, maybe even sad or hopeless or depressed because you let those thoughts take over? And see how it affects your health. Does your energy go away? Do you start hurting in your body? Just pay attention to what happens. Awareness is key. And then I want to invite you to ask yourself, or you can ask that little kid that's sitting on your lap, where did you start this habit? Where did it come from? Did you watch a parent doing this? A teacher, a friend? Is it something that you started early on? And go back to that place, whatever comes up for you. Where is it taking you? And as you go back to that place, you can even ask, what is the belief I took on? What is the belief I took on? And recognize that belief. And then allow any pictures in your mind or any feelings of how this belief runs through your life. And let's take that belief and as we always do, we put everything in a giant rose. We put everything in a giant rose, the head of the rose like it's a vacuum cleaner. You put that belief in the rose. And you take all those pictures in your mind of how this mind crap affects your life and how it's affected your life over the years. Let's put everything in that rose. And I want you to imagine now in your body, where is this energy sitting? You've taken on a belief from the past that creates havoc. And you're recognizing this belief. You can even recognize who it came from. Was it a decision you made? Was it from someone else? Just put all that energy in there and then recognize, just kind of feel into your body and say, where is this sitting in my body? Where is this sitting in my body? I want you to trust yourself here. You may hear it. You may just have a sense of it. You may see a picture in your mind. You may not get anything. If you're not getting anything, then just breathe, open up your crown again and go into a state of surrender and just let it come to the surface. But where does this energy sit inside of you? And now imagine that all this light that is running through your body is creating a ball of light. And wherever you're holding this energy, I want you to imagine that ball of light moving directly into that space. And allow that light to transmute the energy. Let it turn the darkness into light. Remember, it's a habit. It's old stuff. It's not needed anymore. Breathing into this. Then you can check, is there another place that this energy is sitting, this old habit? Check your back, check the front, check your organs, check your neck, your head. And bring light there as well. Feel that light turning the darkness into light. And as you continue to do that, let's imagine going into our grounding under our feet. And let's ask the old family energy of anyone who carried this kind of habit, that their energy get out of your foundation. Your grounding is your foundation. We're going to move that energy into that rose. And put all of it over there. Let that rose be a vacuum cleaner pulling all the energy into the rose. Feels really, really good. Hopefully you're feeling yourself relaxing a little bit. There's no effort here. It's just about saying, okay, Rose, I release this energy. It's that easy. Bringing everything into that rose. And then let's take a rose and let's go into the crown. So the head of the rose is going to go as if it's moving into the crown. And let's let it absorb all those negative thoughts. Let's let any of that dark energy that's been sitting in your head to move out into that rose. I don't know if you guys are feeling this energy, but it's absolutely beautiful to release this old stuff. And now let's take both of these roses and then send them out into the universe, blowing them up like confetti, sending them back with love. All that energy, we're transmuting it and sending it out into the universe with love. Now, as you sit in this space and the light is running through you, And you're recognizing that this was an old habit. You also have to recognize that habits, we can shift the energy here, but at any moment we can call it back. So, to stop that from happening, you want to be in awareness of when your brain is trying to do that, right? And that's what I did yesterday. I said, oh, this is a habit. What does my body need? And I ran red energy through my whole being. So I want to invite you right now to ask yourself, you can ask your inner child and ask, what is it when I do this? What is something that I can do in that moment to stop it in its tracks? What can I do in that moment to stop it in its tracks? And recognize that this is something probably really simple to do. It's about staying in awareness. This is why we want to stay as present as we can so that we are aware of what we're doing. So I want you to imagine that you are walking through life and you are celebrating that you have broken this habit. Okay, you have totally broken it. And I want you to imagine what that's going to feel like, right? How's it going to feel in your body? How are you going to feel on day-to-day basis? How are you going to walk through each day? How are you going to start your morning differently? Because you now know that you've shifted this. So I want you to feel that feeling and say yes to it. And as you're saying yes to it, I want you to imagine your energies just expanding more and more and more and filling up with this yes. Feels so good. It's saying yes, 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 yes. And I want you to look at your inner child and tell her it is okay and it is safe for you to break this habit. Oftentimes, when we go to these habits, it's that inner child who is hurting. And it is up to us to be that divine parent to her and tell her it's safe for you to break it once and for all. It's safe for you to break it once and for all. Once again, feeling that feeling as it is done. You and your inner child are celebrating together. And you're feeling this sense of how it's affecting your life differently. Is your health better? Are you walking through each day more joyful? Really see that for yourself. What does it look like? And again, continue to feel the feeling. This is how we begin to create, by feeling the feeling. Breathing into this. Do that one more time. You're so full of light now. Hopefully, you're feeling more relaxed. And when you're ready, you can come back into this space. Wow, that energy was so beautiful. I don't know if you guys were experiencing it like I was experiencing. And what was so cool is that I hadn't really looked at where I was holding the energy like I was being guided, because I'm watching pictures when I'm guiding you through a meditation. It's not like I'm not just coming up with something. I'm actually watching the guidance. And so when I got the guidance to see it where it was sitting in your body, mine was sitting right here in the back of my neck. And it was so funny because I was just allowing it to be cleared as I was, walking you through it. But that's where every time I'm in the kitchen or doing stuff, I start burning right here. And I went, oh my gosh, that's old stuff. That's old habit. That's this energy of saying, I don't want to be in the kitchen. And it was really cool. So now I'm excited to see, okay, if that happens again, I'm going to recognize that it's old habit, and I will check in with myself once again. And maybe it will be that I'm projecting how tired I am, and maybe I'm not, and I'll clear out the energy with that red energy again, or I'll be told to do something else. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll be told to go sit down for a few minutes and have a glass of wine, who knows? And then go back to cooking. I don't know. But the key is to pay attention to when you're going back into that habit, when you're drawing that energy back to you, and then to do the mind hack and shift it immediately, because that's the power we have. I mean, if we're all energy, then we have the power to shift the energy in that moment, right? So it's just being an awareness to know that you can do that. Now, I want to open up to any questions or ahas you had about that meditation. Or if you have a question about something else, please do not hesitate to jump in. If you're on this call, on the Zoom call, you can raise your hand by going down to the reactions. If you click on it, there should be a little bar that goes across that says raise hand. Last week we were having some technical difficulties, and we'll see if it's any better this week. Would somebody just write me a message in the chat to make sure I'm getting your messages? Anything, just say, hey, Terri, whatever. I want to just see if I'm seeing them. And then if you want to raise your hand, raise your hand. If I'm not seeing it for some reason. Oh, good. Yay, Alicia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She says, thank you for the great meditation. That's awesome. Does anyone, hey, Yvonne, yay. I'm so glad I can see this and see that you guys are working, because last week it was not working very well. So if anyone wants to open up and ask a question, this is your time to be courageous. Remember, you asking what something that's in your heart is really about you taking a stand for yourself. And I remember years ago, I had a friend says, you always ask questions. It made her so uncomfortable. Finally, one day she said to me, I get it. She says, I get why it bothers me. She says, because I don't have permission to ask questions. And now she does. I mean, my goodness, she's written books and she's just really expanded. But I would, what I call, light her up, because she didn't have permission to ask questions. So if there's something in your heart that you want to ask, I want to invite you to jump in right now. If you want some laser coaching, if you're struggling with anything in your life, I am here for you. This is your time. Otherwise, I just get to ramble, and I really don't want to ramble. I'd rather coach you if that's an option. And if you're trying to raise your hand and I am not seeing it, then unmute yourself and then just jump in and say, hey, Terri, this is so-and-so, because I know sometimes that happens. Let me see if there's anything here. I keep feeling like I'm hearing somebody. Let's see. You guys, nobody has a question? Alicia, I see you thinking really hard. You're one of the few people that has your camera on. Can I unmute you for a second, or you unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi.
So what came up for me today was worst case scenario thinking and catastrophizing when there's really no need.
Yeah.
I am creating for my future. That's the stand I'm taking.
Yay.
And I get sucked in, and I can feel it in my body, across my heart. I was doing some energy work. I've got a pretty tough heart shield that my heart's growing under, but it's still there. And it's good to be protected, but not so protected that you hold yourself back from growing. So I'm dealing with that in...
Can I say something to that real fast before you go on? When we protect our hearts, and we put that shield up, we're actually kind of sabotaging ourselves. I want you to think of the energy as protection. So when you're bringing in love, when you are giving yourself permission to stand in your truth and you're cleaning out the beliefs that, that keep you in that lower vibration, as you move into a higher vibration, that is your protection. Okay, I want you to think about that, because when you're in a higher vibration, you're going to attract things to you that feel loving and kind. If you're in a state of protection, then you're going to attract things to you that feel like I need to protect myself from them. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
So does that make you feel like, oh, maybe I can let some of this protection go down?
Yeah. Just by running love through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where we tend to think, I want to stay safe. And so if I'll stay safe in my little cocoon, that's our tendency. That's what we all do as humans, right? But this is why it's so empowering when we recognize that I can run the energy through my body. I can get grounded in God's light. I can bring light and love into my heart space. And just by doing that, and especially by doing the inner healing work where we clean out our subconscious beliefs, do we put ourselves in this higher vibration so that now we're surrounded in light and we're going to attract more light. So I just wanted to stop you there because I think what you said is so profound. And I think so many people do that. We put that protection around our heart. So I hope I didn't take you off track. I just wanted to stop right there. So go ahead and finish what you were going to say.
The next part of what I was going to say was it affects multiple parts of my life. And I can see how I try to protect myself in all kinds of different ways and in all kinds of different areas. So
has it affected your health at all?
It has. But I had some pretty big breakthroughs and really concentrated on healing my body and healing myself over the last couple of years. And that's brought me to heal my body. It's really amazing. Like so back on track. I feel so good in my body now compared to how I did a few years ago. And now I'm working on the spiritual side of things. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Which all goes hand in hand, right? I mean, the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. I mean, all of it goes hand in hand. So I know for me, for so long, I felt like, well, my spiritual and my mental has gotten so much better, but my physical is not catching up. And it was because I had some old illnesses that I had that were still lingering. There was some old trauma still sitting in my body. And so as I cleared out the energy of the trauma, just by going into it and bringing light into it, allowing myself to feel it more, has my body gotten stronger?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So is there anything I can support you on today? Is there any question? I know I called on you because nobody was asking questions. And
yeah, and my question is, questions are still swirling. Yeah, I'm at a point in a significant relationship where I want to let more love in, and I want to let this person into my life more. And it feels really good, but it also feels like it's like I'm scared.
Yeah. So you want to do something with me for a second?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Yay! I'm so glad I found you. So I want you to just close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to imagine your little girl inside of you, little Alicia. And I want you to ask her what scares her about opening up her heart. And tell me what she says.
That she's going to get hurt and that she's going to get left all alone.
Yeah, and I can feel the energy around that. So I want you to ask her, when did that happen? Go back as far as you can. When did that first happen, that she has that memory that this energy is around it?
When I was 4 or 5 and started kindergarten, that's when I experienced it most powerfully. I would have like total meltdowns in kindergarten because I was so scared that I'd be hurt and I'd be left all alone.
And where did that come from? Was it from friends or your parents? Was it that your parents took you to kindergarten for the first time? Where was that trigger, that first moment, if you can get to it?
I've done some work here before, and there's the tiny baby that's like right here. And she wanted to be held, and she wanted to be busy, and she wanted to be awake. And if her mom put her down, she'd scream. And so I'm just holding her right now, and I'm telling her it's okay. She can look around, and it's really good. It's okay. I got her.
So I want you to ask that baby, and the baby can have a voice. Was this her energy, or did you pick up your mother's energy? Was this something you picked up in the womb?
This is old energy. This is like before my mom.
Okay, good. So
Yeah.
you're willing to go back there.
Yeah.
So I want you to go back in time. And I want you to imagine that you're just floating back in time, and all of a sudden you're going to come into a place where this belief began. And I want you to tell me what you see.
It's dark and there's the war. And children being hurt, children dying, adults dying.
And where are you in this picture?
I'm kind of floating above it, like it's like something someone imagined. It's like I'm looking down from very, very far away.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm in it. It's like,
Well, you're observing.
yeah, I'm observing.
But I want you to see where you are in it. So you, as the observer, look down and say, was I a child in this picture? Was I a man or a woman? What was I and where was I? And just let yourself play with this, because
Yeah,
your spirit.
sure. I think I was multiple people, multiple places. It's like the collection of all the stories I've heard growing up. Like that's what's coming back to me now.
So are you feeling this is a past life? Are you feeling this is stories that you've heard from your family?
I wonder if it's ancestral trauma.
I get a yes on that.
Yeah.
I get a yes on that. So how cool is that? Because if it's ancestral trauma, it's not yours. Have you been in a war?
No.
Okay. So have you had people getting killed around you?
Not right around me. When I was 26, my brother died. He was my favorite person.
Oh. Is that what this is about?
Not really.
Okay, good. Okay. So I can feel the sadness, and it's okay, because that his leaving triggered some of this aloneness, is what I'm sensing, right? Is like you missing him. Yeah. So I want you to imagine right now that all those pictures that you're seeing, okay, they're just a story from the past. It's like reading a book. Oh, this isn't my story. This is somebody's story that they wrote. This was their life story, not my story, right? This is why I was asking if it was in the womb, because it felt like it was someone else's story to me. And then you said, no, it goes even further. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I want you to imagine that we're inviting all of that energy from your family from your mom's side, your dad's side, from all of the ancestors before you, that you can even see it as a cord coming out of your space. Okay. And you might see it as one big cord and then it splits off to either side, your mom, your dad, you know. And I want you to imagine that that cord is massive and you are going to take a saw or a machete or something and you're going to say, this is not mine, it's yours. And I want you, as you do that, we're going to just allow that energy to go back to everyone that it belonged to. That's their story. It's not yours. And I want you to feel the remnants of the cord that are, you know, like hanging on you. And I want you to feel them just kind of withering up and they're transmuting and going poof, because you have chosen to not hold on to it anymore. And what I'm seeing now is I want to do a soul retrieval. And what this is when we take on these energies from other people or from beliefs, we'll separate from something inside of ourselves. And this is something that helps us be more whole, right? So I'm seeing this energy above you and I want you to invite it in. And I want you to ask it, what is this? What am I ready to say yes to in my life? What am I ready to bring back into my life? And just imagine, you might see a word, you might have a feeling, and just tell me whatever is coming back to you.
Big love, juiciness, fun. Yeah.
Do you feel that? Can you feel it? I want you to allow it. I want you to allow it to come into your heart space and just explode into your body and say yes to it. Just say yes to it.
Yes.
And know that this is your story.
Yes.
Okay? This is your story. Your family, it got carried down through the generations. That was their story. This is your story. You have broken the cycle right now, today. You've broken that cycle. And so you said, this is not mine. This is not mine. You're very empathic. I don't know if you know that. Surely you know that. Right? Yeah, you're really empathic. And so, of course, you're going to carry on, you know, some people who feel everything and feel their family's energy, we take it on and we make it our own, right? And that's what you did in this situation. And it feels like it was in the womb to me, that it got carried in because your mother was carrying it in. Your dad's seed came in, right? And so it was like sitting there, you were festering in this energy is what it feels like to me. It was like, whew, all this ancestor stuff is going to come in. Now, as you rewrite the story, I want to invite you to spend some time rewriting your story about your juicy, you're joyful, you're playful, all those things you just said. Yeah. And that you're saying yes to this, and recognize that the person who's really afraid of being left alone is your inner child. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you come into a relationship or have something new and you're afraid to let someone in, that's when you turn to her and you say, I'm here for you. I'm not abandoning you. That's our fear, is that we're going to get left alone, but it's the little kid inside of us who's afraid of being left alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just recognize that. It's like, oh, I'm the adult. I'm the woman leader of love. And I am loving myself. I'm saying yes to juicy and passion and playful and love, big love. I'm saying yes to it, and hold that space for yourself. And then know that you don't have to put protection around your heart, because as you're doing that, you just raised your vibration like by whoo. Do you recognize that? Do you recognize that as you release that?
I can feel it.
Can you feel it? You can feel it, right? It is so
lighter.
Cool. Yeah. You release that family crap and you're like, whoa, that's not my story. My husband tells me all the time, he says, I don't remember what it was about. He says, but it was about his family, his dad. And he goes, it changed my life the day that you told me that my dad's story was not mine. I was like, wow, because his dad was an alcoholic. And my husband, he drinks for fun, but he doesn't, but he was like, oh, that was his dad's story. It wasn't his story. And I think that's one of the things we have to really recognize, is that our parents' story is not our story. So how are you feeling there?
Really good. Any suggestions for how I can start to rewrite the story, like literally start writing?
So write down what it feels like, give thanks to your ancestors. Give thanks to all of them and what they had to go through, and, send them love, send them, healing, just that I'm sending you love, I'm sending you healing, but this is not my story. And then start writing out what your story is. It is that it's big and juicy and full of love and joy and playfulness and passion, whatever it is that you want to create that story to be. And then write down what you want in a relationship. Write some bullets down and say, what I like to do is I go down each bullet and say, do I believe I can have this? Or is there something inside of me that says no? And you have to get really honest with yourself and pay attention to the feelings. And if there's a no, then that's your cue to go within and look for the belief and clear it up. Okay? Because if you're feeling, I want big love, that's God speaking to you. That's your heart saying, this is what you deserve. Say yes to it. So then we have to understand where the beliefs inside of my subconscious mind that are blocking me from having that. Remember, your big love is this vibration. Any belief that says no is here. You got to clean up these beliefs so you can match what you want. So you just do the inner work. Does that help?
That does help. Thank you.
Yeah, this is how we manifest, right? We just got to match the vibration of what we want to create. So thank you. I'm so glad I called on you. That was fun. Thank you. I send you so much love, Alicia. And I know we're getting close to the end, but I see Pamela. I'm going to ask you to mute yourself, Alicia. And I'm going to ask Pamela. I see you raised your hand. And if you can.
Hi, Terri.
Hey, long time no see, girl. How are you?
I've been watching you all along. I've been following you, and you're wonderful. I just want to thank Alicia because I feel like we had the same story. And like when she said, how old is she? And I'm like, well, I know I'm about 4 or 5. And when she said, well, I'm 4 or 5, and it's so funny when you do, when you laser coach, everyone's getting coached. I love that. So, but when I went back, I was back in first of all, the feeling was in my gut and in my womb. And I felt like it was my mom. And so when I went back, and it was ancestral, like she said too, I'm like, oh, this is my ancestors. And when I went back, I was in a room, a very poor poverty type home. And it was just like I was in a closet, like peeking out through like the slats. Wow. And I saw abuse. I saw alcoholism. I saw, my whole body is trembling right now. And, I just saw barren. Everything was barren, and it was just so terrible. And so for me, the little girl just wants to be, so full of joy. But as a little girl, I got in trouble for being joyful. I got told to be quiet. You can't do that. You can't, so when in my family, and I was the youngest of 4. So, and even when she said as a little baby, I can remember my mother not really holding me because she didn't really have time. I tell the story how I was really not planned, and they're not saying that to be mean, but, and then Pamela came along. Well, that was a surprise, so it was almost like, here she was 22 years old with 4 kids, Ooh. And back then she didn't drive. She didn't have an educate. So I could feel the little baby not being held, not being taken time out for her, or, and so I've always been like the 4th week, always like trying to get attention. And so I would always be this joyful little thing, and I got in trouble for it. And so I'm at a point in my life where I'm taking care of my elder mother now. And I've done work on this before, but it's so still in me, like I don't know. I just feel like when you did the energy of this isn't even mine, and I just have to, but I'm so close to her right now. And I'm an empath, so I feel everything, so it's like all being thrown at me, and I feel like I'm absorbing it all over again. Now I just am recovering myself from esophageal cancer. Oh, wow. So I feel like the cancer manifested in my esophagus because I couldn't express. Exactly. Or I didn't get the nurturing, because that's your like food pipe, right? That's where you get all your nourishment. And it actually showed up as disease. Yeah. Good for your awareness. That's great, though, that you're recognizing that. You know what? I want to ask you a question, because a lot of times when we're not nurtured the way
we should have been nurtured by a parent, and then we have to turn around and nurture them. Is it hard for you to do that?
Yes. Yeah. I find myself again, like holding it in my throat and then like pressing down. And because she's very ill, and I really believe it's because of all her hard-heartedness and her negativity and the way she was brought up. I get it, but it's not my story, you know? And so when I go in there, it's like, I just want to shower her with love and just try, like I was trying to rub her back the other day because her, you know, like, let me give you a nice massage. She doesn't want me to touch her. So even my love is being rejected from her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't, you know, it's a hard spot for me to be in.
Yeah. So, is there a question you want me to look at, or is there something that I can coach on? Because you have such awareness of what's going on.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you something that I see really quickly?
Please.
I see little Pamela when you're doing this for your mother. She's just standing there, and she really, it's almost like she's just like no words are coming out of my mouth. That's almost like, I was like, I couldn't say anything. It's like, that's how she is. Like, she's just kind of watching going, this is unfamiliar to me. You know, this, you know, you're nurturing so much. Let me just see what I can feel from your inner child about what she needs. You know what it feels like to me? She is learning to trust you more. Your inner child is learning to trust you more. And because a lot of times when that child doesn't trust us is what creates emotional havoc, because she, you know, she doesn't trust that that you can nurture, right? And I know you've done a lot of work over the years and stuff. That she sees you taking care of your mother, and she sees this amazing nurturing being that you are. Okay, that you have this in you.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she's seeing, it's like she's seeing how amazing you are. I mean, you're an earth angel. You're taking care of your mother who did not take care of you. That's huge. Okay. So what I want to encourage you is that, you know, your mother having this situation happen, and she's in your space and you're taking care of her. This is a reminder as well, because you already said, I see my mother's pain and how it's manifested. You know, her own pain is to really pay attention when you're with her. What of my mother's pain have I taken on, like we did today, right?
Yeah.
But let this be an avenue for that. Let there be more healing, okay? And then as you recognize it and you're in that space, and it feels like you're helping her move the energy. I don't even know if you're intentionally doing it, but you're helping energy move in this space with your mother. Do you recognize that?
I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just saw this energy moving. Also acknowledge your inner child during this process. So when it's hard, okay, you're having compassion for your mother. But what I'm hearing is that through this process, have compassion for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's ironic, not ironic, but it's like I'm still healing. And so when I'm only 9 months out of my surgery. So, and then my mother took a terrible decline, and my sister, who usually takes most care of her, had a hip replacement. So she's like, Pam, you got to do this for me. So I'm like, but I'm still healing myself. And so my doctor's like, it's imperative that you do the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, now I have to really balance like my well-being and her well-being. So when you said that, like, pay attention to that little girl that didn't get nurtured, because she needs to be nurtured in a big way right now, physically, not only emotionally or, mentally. So I'm so glad that I got on this call, because I know it's not my energy, and I want to love my mother the way she's never been loved, but she can't receive it.
And there's nothing you can do to change that.
Yeah.
You can just hold the space for her. I know when my dad died, and I looked at him and I said, Daddy, you can't go. I love you. And his eyes bugged open because he couldn't receive love either. And
Yeah.
in that moment, it was like he was like, oh, you mean you actually loved me? But nothing but love him through the years. He was the one who didn't love himself, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's with your mom. So let this be, you're doing this for her because you want her to be surrounded with love, because that's who you are. That's where your heart is. So first off, acknowledge who you are as this beautiful woman, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. And then recognize that there's pain. What I'm seeing is with your esophagus, there's pain that is still stuffed down in there.
Yeah.
And that you're being given an opportunity to let that come to the surface and be expressed. So it may be that after you leave your mom, that you need to go home and you need to have a good sob, or you may need to take the pillow and beat the bed, because it feels like there's some suppressed anger in there to me.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah. So much so that when I release it, I have such acid reflux.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's I mean, it's like uncontrollable, like terrible. Like,
so what I would say to you is really be in a healing situation instead of going, let your anger come up, but at the same time, give thanks for the gift. Okay. Because when we hold on to the anger and it stays anger, right, then that's when it just gets darker and darker and darker. But if we are allowing the anger to come up and giving thanks that a healing is happening, and that you're looking at that little girl inside of you and saying, I know you're angry, and I'm going to let you express this, and we're going to accept that it's here, and we're going to give you permission to release it. And we're so grateful for the healing. I mean, that's the beauty of your mother, who is playing her part right now, because you've been sick and now you get to heal. Yeah. Yeah.
When you just said that, the beauty of your mother playing the role, it's like, and actually now I got put into this role, this casting, call to go now be her caretaker. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So I guess I was the stand-in for this part.
And what I would say to you is, after you release some of the anger energy and stuff, you can even ask, you can go into meditation, see your mother's spirit, and ask her, what was the gift you've been giving me through this whole process? And what is the gift I'm giving you, right? Because remember, there's soul agreements.
Yes.
So you want to make
sure.
And
I think some of the anger is, Terri, that why do I have to nurture her? She never nurtured me.
Exactly.
Like the little girl. Yeah, the little girl's like, well, I want to. Well, why? Because she wasn't there when I cried in the middle of the night, and she didn't pay all this attention or time with me. So that little girl in me is like getting angry, like, why do I have to stop my healing? And my healing process has been wonderful. And I'm finally feeling joy back in my body. And like, I think Alicia said, the juiciness, the passion. Oh. I mean, I've been feeling so dry and stagnant and stale. And then now I'm realizing, where's that energy, that passionate, juicy, even sensual, I want my body back. I want it all back, and I've been depleted of it through the surgery, through the healing, through the doctor's visit, it's been terrible. And now I got to take care of my mother. And every time I take her to the doctor, I get like triggered, like here I am back in the medical scene. Yeah. It's just not good but I recognizing it, but I think that's my anger in there too.
So I would that's why, the anger is, make sure you're focusing on your inner child as well. And let any trigger that happens right now is an opportunity for you to go deeper into your healing. So if you are triggered, going to the doctor's office, as soon as you feel the trigger and you start getting angry, thank you for the gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What is hurting inside of me? Little Pamela, what is hurting inside of you? What is going on? And all of this may be happening because you're just being invited to let this anger come up. Mm-hmm. Okay, do it in a safe place. For me, when I've had things like this happen in my life, I take a pillow and I beat the crap out of my bed, and I scream, I cry. And I can tell you, the moments when I've gone so deep into the emotion, I can feel it coming up. It's almost like a ball of energy coming up. Yes. And when it's done, it's like,
right.
Right. So if that's where you need to go, but just keep asking for the gift. Okay. What's the gift? What's the gift? Because this is happening for a reason. So you can really heal. You've gone through trauma. You're a coach. Are you still coaching?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a coach. So look at how you can serve others
with this
with
experience.
this experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
Oh,
whole
yeah.
life experience. Okay.
Yeah.
With your mother.
Yeah.
So
Love it. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to see you here again. I'm going to ask you to mute yourself. And guys, we're going to have to wrap it up. I just realized what time it is. And so we're going to have to wrap it up. And I am so thankful you guys were here. As you can see, there's powerful healing that happens here. And even if you don't ask questions, hopefully you're getting something from it. Once again, I want to invite anybody who is not in this call and didn't ask questions and you want to be, you can just go to terribritt.com/leaders and get my Women Leaders of Love worthiness quotient breakthrough bundle. It's free. Get my ebook and some meditations, and then you'll be given the Zoom link every week to come in here and ask these questions. You guys, I want to just take a moment and let's just close this out. As you sit in this space of healing, there's been so much healing today. I want you to just give your inner child a big hug and say, wow, thank you for being so brave, for being here. Thank you for really having the courage to be in the space of healing, to be so vulnerable, to be so real. And let's just give thanks to ourselves for showing up and give thanks to Alicia and Pamela for being voices for everyone today. And give thanks to this whole group and to all the women who are watching from around the world who aren't necessarily sitting here with us, but just saying thank you for being Women Leaders of Love. Thank you for taking this time to heal, because when you heal, your family heals and the world heals. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. And I will see you same time next week. Bye-bye, everybody.